Hello there. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience going abroad for the fall semester and what I learned and how I gained a global perspective. So, in summary, I spent 10 weeks in Europe, and this was part of the EF Pathfinder program, which is a program that is meant for immersion in Europe. And I ended up going to 12 countries while I was in Europe. I learned so much, not only about all the places that I visited, but I also learned a lot about myself, and it was a really valuable experience. Some of the biggest lessons that I learned were about myself. I think that being put in such an uncomfortable situation, far from my comfort zone, by going all alone across the world, just forced me to grow. I had to interact with others that were on my trip, and so I learned a lot about how I interact socially, just like with a bunch of new people that I've never met before. I also learned a lot about how to take care of myself and my personal needs. I kind of learned about my boundaries when it comes to living with so many people and never being alone, because even in our hostels we were sleeping with the same people and we were interacting 24/7. So I just learned how to take care of myself, and I would maybe go on a walk, or I brought my yoga mat to Europe just because I knew that that would help center me. And I also learned how to support others. I think that in my cohort, we really learned to depend on each other. We learned signs to look out for when someone was just getting a little bit overwhelmed. So I definitely think that I grew in knowing how to support people around me, and that's something that I've brought back with me. I also gained such a global perspective when I was abroad, just totally being immersed in the European culture for 10 weeks. I learned all about the differences from America, and I picked up on patterns in each country. And when I was nearing the end of my trip, I was really looking forward to coming home, and I think that a takeaway that I have after coming back from the trip is valuing all the things that I have at home. I was so excited for my own room and my own kitchen, and I just appreciate all the little things because I had gone so long without like my own personal space and just a lot of necessities that I had grown up with and gone 19 years without leaving. So that was a major takeaway, is just having an appreciation for my home and my community. And that's not to say that I didn't appreciate everything that I had when I was abroad, but it was just a different lifestyle, and it was not as comforting to me because I wasn't used to it. When I was in Europe, I was able to vlog in every single country, and I took so many photos and videos, and those are gonna really be keepsakes for me because they document all the food that I ate and just all of the experiences that I had, and I really don't want to forget about them because it was such an amazing time in my development. And I think that overall this trip really impacted the way that I think. I definitely have a stronger understanding of myself and who I am and what I need. And I also think that I have a stronger understanding of the world and the way that people are connected and the way that different cultures interact. And I have a really good understanding of the European culture. I stepped out of my comfort zone in so many ways. I took public transportation everywhere, which is not something that I'm able to use at home. And I got really confident traveling by myself, and I even took a train and like went to Amsterdam for a couple nights by myself, and it was a really empowering experience just to have the self-confidence to be able to do stuff like that. There were definitely challenges on my trip. I was missing home at the beginning, and I was unsure if I had made the right decision. And then I had everyday challenges of figuring out how to get back to the hostel or making sure everyone was safe. And I think that in overcoming all of these challenges, I'm so grateful that I got to experience them because they really have made me stronger. And before I left, I was unsure of what I was going to do after I got back, but during my trip, I really allowed myself time to reflect on my passions and what is valuable to me. And so now that I'm back, I have such a stronger understanding, and I now have a plan, and I'm so excited for it. And yeah, it's been so valuable to be able to take this SNHU course along with my traveling because it allowed me to research about all the countries I was going to, and that was really educating. Like before I even left, I had already learned about the way of life and the economy and the food there, so that was really cool. And then it's also been helpful in reflecting. Instead of just coming back and going about with my normal life, I'm still thinking about all the experiences I've had, and I'm still taking the lessons that I learned and applying them to my new life. And so I've really enjoyed that aspect too. Thank you for listening to my Inspired project, and have a good day.